Yo, what's up guys, it's Leroy here, and yesterday we had the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 reveal. Like, one of the craziest reveals I've ever seen in my life. I didn't think it would actually happen, but it's finally here. So with the trailer we got a lot of new information about the next Xenoblade game, and in this video I wanna break it down. So I've seen the trailer like 100 times already, and I've noticed a few things, and I'll be going over them in this video. So let's start.
Fighting in order to live, and living to fight.
So in the first 15 seconds we see our main character Noah. He just seems to be a normal human, or Homs if you wanna call it, from Xenoblade 1. And he's playing the flute, which seems to be an important element of the game. And if you look closely, you can see that he's wearing a Shulk's belt from Future Connected. If you look at his character design, you can also see some similarities with Faye from Xenogears.
That's the way of our world. Ionios.
Okay, so in this next scene, we see it fade into what seems to be a battle between two nations. We see an army that consists of people wielding blade weapons, it seems like, and mechs that kinda look like Mechon from Xenoblade 1. From the official Xenoblade 3 website, we know that this nation is called Keeves. We can also hear a character say the name of the new world,
Ionios.
and it's called Ionius. So this is pretty interesting because Ionius, you can kinda hear Ion, which is the artifice that was the final boss in Xenoblade 2, and Bionis, which was one of the titans in Xenoblade 1.
Tell me, what would possess you to side with them?
We're fighting because there are enemies to kill.
I refuse to believe you're him.
I knew it. I saw this coming.
You are.
So in this next scene we see some people fighting each other. We see our main character Noah, and he wields a longsword that kinda resembles the Monado and Pyra's Aegis sword. Then from the Xenoblade 3 website we know that Noah is a soldier for Keeves. Then we also see our second protagonist, Mio, who seems to wield the same sort of ring weapons that Nia used in Xenoblade 2. We can also see that she's a Gormati, and she has a core crystal that also looks kinda similar to Nia's. So that could mean that Mio is also a flesh eater. Mio is also from the other nation that the Keeves are fighting, called Agnes. Now we see our first side character, called Lance. He's on the side of Noah and the Keeves nation. It looks like he's wielding a blade weapon, but we don't see a core crystal on him, so this might be some Keeves technology. Something interesting to note is his mark on his chin. We'll come back to that later. Then we see another side character called Sena, who definitely seems to be a blade, from the blade lines on her body and the core crystal on her official art. Then we see something very interesting. We see a character that awfully represents Fandom from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Now we know that in every Xenoblade game there is a Fandom person. But this guy really looks like Fandom from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so it's interesting to see how that connects.
Not enemies now.
Fine for you, isn't it? All that time you've got.
You could try to move forward.
Now here we see some people, most likely Homs from the Keeves nation, all wear the same Future Connected belt that Shulk also wore. Then we see Noah and Mio playing the flute together, so it seems like they stopped fighting and joined each other.
Again.
How can our lives be so snuffing little to you?
They're not your friends anymore. They're his fuel.
So here we see our last two party members of the trailer. We got Uni on the side of the Keeves. She seems to be an Iantia. And again we see the same mark that Lance had on his chin, but now on her chest. She also has brown hair, which is pretty unusual for a Iantia, or at least it was unusual. Then we got Tyon on the side of Agnes. He wields a really unusual weapon, and it seems like he's not a blade, unlike the other two party members from Agnes.
Sword march. The land pierced by a great sword. It's the only way you're gonna defeat the real enemy.
So now we're gonna see a lot of landscapes. On this first one here, it kinda resembles Gar Plain from Xenoblade 1. If you look in the background, you can see the hill kinda exposing, just like on Bionis' knee. Then here we see an absolute massive landscape, with in the background the Orion Titan, which seems to be dead. Now here you can see the remains of the Mechonis sword, piercing the land, as the narrator says. So there's definitely a possibility that the Mechon technology that remained on the sword was still used in this game. Now we see something super interesting. We actually see the remains of Fallen Arm from Xenoblade 1. Then here we see a landscape that to me kinda feels like more Ardane, but I could be wrong. And this shot kinda looks like the Danag region in Torna. Then on this shot we can see the Laterian archipelago in the water from Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Whatever life is lost, I won't let you shoulder it all alone.
What good filling up these flickering clocks in our eyes? It will never replace the friends we've lost.
The flame clock, it has to go!
And here we got some new Nopon. And they really look similar to Rex and Pyra from Xenoblade 2. The girl Nopon actually resembles the beta design from Pyra if you look at her hair, but that could just be a coincidence. Now here we see Uni again, but this time her wings are black instead of white. This might have something to do with the mark she has.
Ouroboros abhor this world. They must be erased without a trace.
Now this is really interesting. We can actually see an Iantia, which looks extremely similar to Melia from Xenoblade Chronicles 1. But the voice we hear in the background kinda sounds like Tyrea. But this couldn't be her because Tyrea's wings are way bigger. This character seems to represent the Kiev Nation. And now we see Nia. There's just no doubt about it, this has to be her. You can see her core crystal and her hair. And she seems to represent the Agnes Nation. From the website it says that the Agnes Nation specializes in Ether combat. Now for the final shot we see the iconic Xenoblade view. Our main characters on the grass hill looking out into the blue sky with a great titan in the background. But this time it's the remains of the Mechonis sword from Xenoblade 1 and the remains of the Orion Titan from Xenoblade 2. This shot was actually conceptualized at the end of development for Xenoblade 1 and at the beginning of development for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. This was revealed in a message from Executive Director Tetsuya Takahashi after the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 reveal. And if we look at the new Xenoblade 3 logo, you can see that it's taking elements from both Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2 logos. You can also see the same symbols from the marks on Uni and Lance on the 3 in the logo. That's all I got today. I'm sure there are many things I missed, so if you found anything else, please let me know in the comments. I'm beyond excited for this game and will be making lots of content for it, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any content. Thanks for watching.